What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets. I'm also going to talk about some catalysts coming out for next week, and how things may end up panning out as time goes on. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, the market did something very, very interesting. In my second to last video, if you guys look at it, I said that the market would likely dip and then get a nice bounce. And then I started talking about how there might be a big squeeze coming. Lo and behold, that's what happened to the market for today. We started off with this dip. We came down. We started to fill this gap from right over here. But we didn't fully fill this gap right over here. It's down to about the 555 area. But I mentioned to everyone that I noticed something very interesting that was developing from technicals. So what happened was, despite the fact that the market was in a channel, right? We were stuck in this channel going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We had this big dump, okay, during Nvidia's earnings. And that made me suspect that, hey, maybe the market was about to dump lower. Maybe we're about to get bought up higher. What happened was we dumped and then we started to push higher instead because then buyers started to defend Nvidia. Um, Nvidia was down 7% for the day back during its earnings. And then the next day, it was actually down only 2%. So it actually got bought back up a little bit. And then since that happened, since this low was made, you could notice that SPY came back up to resistance at 563. We came back down to 558. Then we came back up. So it was starting to show signs that this was turning, especially when I looked at our PPO. And we started to form a small bullish divergence. So I started to suspect that there might be a push coming. And then when we opened up with PCE data coming out, the market popped a bit and started dipping. I suspect that we might see a dip to fill that gap. And then as long as we held the low, as long as we didn't lose like 555 or even like the low right here, you would anticipate a nice rebound. That's what I mentioned in my video. That's why today in my second to last video, I mentioned that there might be a dip and a squeeze coming. And I called it, and that's what ended up happening. So at the very end of the day, the buyers showed us who the boss is, and that is the bulls. The bulls were the boss today. They came out and they did a great job. They pushed this up higher. We saw SPY break the resistance right over here, and we basically invalidated this head and shoulders. So now it looks more bullish. The PPO is about to get a bullish crossover, and the daily chart looks bullish. Daily looks very, very bullish to me. I think that we could easily be approaching the all-time high at 565 is our next target. I think we're going to be approaching that. We'll see if that breaks. The odds do favor that breaking to me, looking at momentum that's building. And then when you look at the weekly, this looks more bullish now. So it looks to me like we're going to get a strong week next week, at least start off with a strong week. So this looks bullish. Look at the weekly, guys. This looks pretty nice. So I think that we're going to see more upside. Now, people think September is a bearish month, October is a bearish month. I agree. I do know that historically, especially during elections, September and October are not the best months. But this time we might see a little push to start off September. We'll see if it lasts later on for the month. There's no guarantee it's going to last for the entire month, but to start off September, we look pretty good. So, what's happening for the markets? What are some catalysts? I just want to briefly talk about a couple of things and I'll talk about the charts. So, anyways, there's no trading on Monday in the United States because we have Labor Day weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's a great opportunity to just unwind, take some time away from charts, from work. Hopefully, you guys have the days off. And it's going to be important. So there's not going to be trading on Monday. But then for Tuesday, we have some earnings coming out. Most of them are very, very minor retail. We have like Dick's Sporting Goods, a few more like that. We have ChargePoint. And then we have Neo announcing its earnings. And besides that, it's just like Big Lots and a few others. So a lot of retail, but most of it's just very minor. For data involving the markets, for Tuesday when the market reopens, okay, we have the ISM manufacturing numbers coming out. For Wednesday, we have the JOLTS job openings and job quits. For Thursday, we have the ISM services data. That's going to be very important. I think Thursday and Friday are going to be important days. Friday, we have unemployment numbers. That's going to be huge. So we'll see what happens with unemployment. But the data is going to be very important for these next upcoming days. Not Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday are not as big, but I would say that Thursday and Friday are more significant. And the last thing I just want to go over is this. So right now, sentiment is greedy. Greed is making up the majority of sentiment, and we're not even at extreme greed yet, which makes me think that this could go higher. And then momentum is currently at greed. This may reach extreme greed and continue to go. This is just based off the position the market is in relative to its moving averages. So we're still at a high level. The put to call option ratio is starting to go up. It was started going up just a little bit. This shows that some people started shorting the market a little bit more, but this might start dipping lower because of the market pushing. What's happening is institutions, okay? The people who move the markets are not retail, at least for most stocks out there, especially large caps, mega caps. We're not the ones who move these charts. It's mainly these market makers, these institutions. So the big institutions are setting a lot of big buy orders. That happened at the very end of the day today, and they could be doing this because they're hedging. They may be closing a lot of these shorts, which is why we're seeing the put to call option ratio for the last couple of days dipping. They're closing shorts and hedging, going long, and that's a good sign for the markets for the time being. The VIX is also looking a little bit more bearish to me. I think that suggests the market may push higher. So I'm going to go over just a couple of tickers for this video. So I want to be very honest. I think next week, SPY is going to push to 565. If we break that, I'll be looking for 568, the new all-time highs to like 570. What opens the door for more upside is going to be ES. ES is the S&P 500 futures. If we break this structure, we're likely going to break. If you just look at the daily and the 4 hour, we look very bullish. So I think we're going to break this. We're going to try to fill this imbalance, and that's going to take this to 57.15. Now there's a divergence that's forming because we have like futures like the S&P 500 mini futures, even like SPX. They're not breaking all-time highs yet, but SPY's already there. So SPY's ahead of the game. And I think that as these start pushing to their all-time highs, it's going to launch SPY even higher, right? So I think that's what's going on right now. Even SPX looks very bullish. I think we're going to be approaching the all-time high. We'll see if it breaks or not, but it looks bullish to me. For Nvidia, what I said about Nvidia was we had that key support at 117. That's going to be our 4 hour 200 EMA. If we lost that, we would be dipping. If we held this, we could try to rebound. Because we're holding this, as long as we try to hold this, we could actually see a rebound for at least 122. If it loses this, this will be dipping, but so far it's doing a good job at holding up. And there could be a small rebound coming. For Bitcoin, we're trying to rebound right here. I could be looking for a test of 59,750, so it might try to rebound. For others like Tesla looks really nice to me last time I checked it. So Tesla's in an interesting place. We are trying to rebound. I'm going to close this falling wedge-like structure that I was looking at. I'm not going to worry about that for the time being. There's a reason why. I think we have a different setup after all. So our support, and this chart's very simple, by the way. Our support is going to be our key EMAs. That's going to be around this like 212 area, also 210. If we had lost that, we'd be looking for basically the 207s. And then our resistance is at 215. If Tesla manages to break that, we're going to be going all the way up to 217. And not just that, I think we could be going all the way up to like 220 to fill this imbalance. So that's what I'm basically eyeing in terms of levels, but we could ignore the levels, okay, and just look at the pattern. The pattern on Tesla is quite bullish. We have a nice accumulation right over here. This is like a V-shaped recovery, inverse head and shoulders. We might dip a little bit to retest our EMAs. And if we get a bounce here on Tesla off this 212 area, I think that we're going to be retesting 215. If that breaks, if we break this resistance, notice we did reject here 1, 2, maybe 3 times. We'll see. But if we break 215, I think we're going to be launching up to this imbalance. I think it's going to take us up to about 220. There's going to be a big pump in Tesla coming if we break that resistance. So it's doing a good job at getting bought back up so far. And we're getting a bullish cross on our 4 hour PPO. And on top of that, the daily chart is looking pretty good. This is a good looking daily candlestick. Don't solely trade based off daily candlesticks for Tesla because there were times we got bullish candlesticks and bearish ones because of news. But from what I'm seeing, based off multiple confluences, especially with the market trying to push, that may help Tesla try to fill this imbalance over here. So it does have bullish potential. For a few more, we have NQ. NQ to me is looking pretty good. I like this structure. I think the 4 hour is going to give us more insights. The daily looks bullish. The 4 hour looks pretty good. I think what's going to happen is we push higher just like SPY. We have this possible inverse head and shoulders, like a left shoulder here, a head, maybe a right shoulder, but we need to still break resistance. We're not as strong as like SPY right now. I want to see us break this resistance right here on 19,650. If we manage to break that area, then yes, I think we're going up to about just under 20,000. So I see potential for a rebound, but I think this could look a little better if we break key resistance first. So I'll be watching resistance to be a little bit more careful with this than SPY and ES and the others. But there is potential, of course. Now, the QQQ, on the other hand, looks a little bit better to me because we're getting this bullish cross in the PPO. I want to see us break this right here. If we break this 477 area, I think we easily push up for at least 480. Then eventually 483 is coming. So I think what's going to happen to the QQQ is we're going up to at least 480. It looks bullish to me. Look at 477 for confirmation. If we break that, we're going to go to 480 most likely. If we were to hypothetically lose 472, I will turn back. I'll be a little bit concerned about this, but I don't really favor that. I favor this is going to try to it might drop a little bit, then try to rebound after that to 480. But I favor at least 480 plus for now. It could even go even higher. For Apple, we look more bullish because of this accumulation right here. We have this gap to fill up here on the 4-hour time frame at 234. So I think Apple's going to continue to uptrend. It could dip a bit first and start pushing for that mid 230 area. So I expect that as a stronger possibility. Look at the IWM Russell 2000. Check out this line I drew out, and I've been saying this for the last few days. We have this trend line of supports, this big white one. Notice that we ended up closing above this. So we dipped a little bit. Now we're trying to form a nice accumulation. I think we're going to try to slowly ride this line up, taking us back up to 222. So long as we don't lose 218, we're going to be fine. So I favor upside. Amazon looks bullish. Break the 200 EMA. We're going to fill this imbalance for 180. Coin looks a little weak. I mean, we could come down to fill this gap. I'm not sure if the move is done yet. We could retest 180 to 178 around there, then try to bounce, or we could just bounce from here if the move is already done. So either it dips a little bit, then bounces, or bounces from here to get back up to 188. But I do see a bounce coming. Meta looks pretty good. It could look better if we break past 524. We'll see. Excuse me. We'll see about that, but we're doing a good job. Microsoft's pretty good. Nice accumulation structure. I'll go into more details about this later, but it does look bullish for the 420s. Google looks more bullish. 166, 168 are likely coming. So that's pretty much it for my video. I want to make this one really short because I'll go into more details on Monday about all the charts. I'll be very meticulous on Monday. I'll give you guys all the details I typically go over. But for Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to give you guys probably more broader videos about the bigger trends and factors like that. So I think that that's what I'm going to be doing. Be on the lookout for my video for tomorrow where I break down more information about SPY and the QQQ. And then Sunday, we'll see what I do on Sunday, if I do upload a video or not. Because remember, it's a 3-day holiday, guys. The market's going to be closed anyways on Monday. So I will use Monday to upload a more in-depth video. So we'll see how things go. But expect a video for tomorrow from me. And then we'll see how things go from there. I will for sure be back on Monday as well for more uploads. But until then, I'm going to cut the video short. Please enjoy your guys' weekend. Have a great time. Hope you guys spend time with loved ones, and you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you guys very soon. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and peace out.